Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very interesting video to get into because we have some strange gaming news and some strange gaming leaks, and it really does feel like we're just right on the edge or the cusp of something big coming from Nintendo. And I'm talking about the Switch 2 announcement or Switch 2 reveal. So let's go and get right into this video. Right now in the gaming world, things are very weird because there's either some really good announcements, some really weird announcements, or I guess some bad announcements, and it's every single day. Normally you're like, alright, what's going to happen next week or the week after? Every single day when I wake up and I open my phone or check my computer, I'm like, what the hell is going on right now? And that's exactly the kind of video we have today. So before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, it would truly mean the world to me. And let's just go on and get right into it. So I don't want to keep covering this too much because this is like the third video that I've included this kind of information in. But that massive Pokemon leak that happened maybe 4 or 5 days ago now, every single day there's like more details coming out. And it is so freaking weird and strange, some of the stuff that leaked out. Like I mentioned it briefly in one of the previous videos, but there's like, I don't really know how to describe it, I guess almost fan fiction, but it's not fan fiction, you know, because it's coming from Pokemon themselves. But they're writing like these weird stories and backgrounds about Pokemon and humans having like relationships together and maybe even having children. I'm not really sure, but it is so freaking strange. And it's something you would expect to see on Twitter from some kind of imbecile who just makes up strange Pokemon stories. But it came from Pokemon. I cannot stress that enough, that it came from the Pokemon team and Game Freak. Now, what does that have to do with today's video? Absolutely nothing, but I had to mention it because it's so bizarre. But Pokemon Legends EA, we have a massive leak for that game. And the massive leak is technically the whole game. Pokemon Legends EA is fully playable from start to finish. Game Freak made a playable PC build. There's a current working build for a PC version that was attained in the Freak League. Freak League? I don't think we're calling it that. That's actually, I don't know. With that Pokemon weird story stuff, that might be the right terms or words to say, but I think it's called the Terra League. Despite bugs and lag, the game can be played from start to finish. Obviously, this is out there for Pokemon to tweak some stuff and to playtest it themselves. So yeah, the entire Pokemon Legends EA game is out there, and that might start appearing online. Now, there's a few things that comes from that. One, we're probably going to get a lot of spoilers for this game. I'll be honest, there is a couple details I would like to know, but not to the point where I want to spoil the entire game for myself. If the game is done and they're just fixing some bugs and some lags and stuff that I guess you do in the background, maybe the game would be coming sooner than later. They did say 2025, so I don't expect it this year or anything, but possibly a Switch 2 launch game. With this massive leak, does that mean they should move up the release sooner or push it back more? I don't know. Yeah, man, what a strange week in gaming. So about 6 months ago, I believe I made a video about a new Nintendo 64 console. But what I thought it was going to be was a 4K version of a Nintendo 64. Like, you can put all your old Nintendo 64 games in the console and it will upscale them to 4K. And as time went on, no information came out about that console. I believe that console has now been revealed, but I swear I remember making a video about it being 4K. So if I can find like some information from that time, I'll put it in right now just to make sure that I'm not crazy and that I did remember correctly. But yeah, the console has been revealed, but I don't think it's 4K. Wow, I could not be more wrong. Introducing Analog 3D, a reimagining of the N64. In 4K resolution right there. I don't know what I read earlier. I was reading something saying that it was not 4K. Analog 3D is the world's first 100% compatible with every original Nintendo 64 game ever made. Region-free, Bluetooth, dual band Wi-Fi, 4 original style controller ports. Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. I don't know if it has it right here, but I believe the price is $250. And it comes in 2 colors. It's coming in black and in white. One strange thing, which like I understand why they're doing it, but I don't know why they would do this at the same time. They're not including any controllers. So you're just getting the console, and I'm assuming the power cords and stuff. You need to buy your own controllers. Now you can use original Nintendo 64 controllers, which is cool, but it supports Bluetooth. So there are some really cool Nintendo 64 style controllers out there. But yeah, $250. You need to pre-order it very, very soon, I believe. Pre-ordering is starting on October 21st, and normally the stuff with the analog goes very quickly, and then once it's gone, people resell it for a lot of money. They normally do this with the little handheld consoles. I think this is going to be a more high demand item. So if you're interested in this, you definitely want to look out for that date for pre-ordering, which I believe is a Monday. So in the past week, Nintendo talked about that strange Nintendo Online playtest. What's it going to be? Nobody knows. Within 4 seconds, 100,000 people had signed up to be part of this playtesting, whatever the hell it turns out to be. I covered a leak a few days ago that was a Switch 2 leak, and in that leak it was talking about shipping manifest, and there was also some information about GameCube controllers that Nintendo themselves is bringing back. So a lot of people are assuming it's going to be maybe something GameCube related. I'm assuming it's going to be something like we had on the Wii, like the whole Mi Plaza thing. Maybe they could do that for the Switch and then Switch 2. That would be pretty cool. But look at what Nintendo put out. Cheers to 3 years. We hope you had a chance to enjoy revisiting or discovering classic games in the Nintendo 64, Game Boy Advance, and Sega Genesis libraries. What excitement will the next year bring for Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack members? Stay tuned to find out. I find this very interesting, simply because of the timing. Like, there's that playtest stuff going on, there's those GameCube controllers, they're putting out this statement. It kind of alludes to something big coming to Nintendo Switch Online. I really think it's going to be a main component or a main feature of the Switch 2. Nintendo has a bunch of consoles and a bunch of games. There's so much that they could add to Nintendo Switch Online service. The thing that really does make the most sense, at least now, seeing this and seeing all these other leaks, is GameCube. Like, you could sell games remastered or remade, like Wind Waker, Metroid Prime, maybe Luigi's Mansion, Super Mario Sunshine, Smash Bros. Melee, Mario Kart Double Dash. All those games would sell incredibly well if they remade or remastered them. They could just bring over the entire GameCube library, 10 games at a time or something. Add that to Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack, charge an extra $5 on top of the whatever it is right now, I think $50 a year, maybe extra $10, right? Having all the consoles and games they have now, plus a GameCube library, and then in the future, maybe DS, 3DS, Wii U, there's just so much they could do. So, this is strange. I don't believe they put out the same statement when it was the 2-year anniversary of the expansion pack. Maybe they did, but I don't remember it happening. So it really does seem like Nintendo is dropping hints at what's coming next year. And ladies and gentlemen, let's end on a little bit of Switch 2 news, or a Switch 2 leak, or a Switch 2 rumor, or a Switch 2 conversation, or a Switch 2 topic. I don't know. You guys know as much as I do. These are the things you see all the time. I'm guilty of it. I make these kind of videos, but I really enjoy them, and they're a lot of fun for me to speculate. So, yeah, that's what we're about to do. We have a prominent person in the gaming industry, and I believe they were the first person to leak, a month before it was announced, that we were getting a Legend of Zelda game where you play as Princess Zelda. They also leaked something else, just as important, but they have came out and made a statement. And you may say, well, Mr. Robot Joe, what is that statement? It must be groundbreaking. It must be very important news if you're reporting on it. Guys, you should know me better than that. This is the tweet right here from Dr. Serkan Toto, CEO of Japan Game Industry Consultancy Katana Games, and some other stuff, whatever. They've leaked a bunch of stuff, very credible. They just came out today and tweeted Switch 2. I am assuming that's really what this console might be called. I've covered leaks saying people in the actual factory, like manufacturing, they looked on the back of the console and there was an actual 2 on the back of the console. They never said the Switch was called the Switch 2, but they were saying it actually had a 2 on it. And then we've always speculated, what do we call it? Super Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch Advance. Both of those sound pretty cool. We've seen Switch Attach, which was very, very stupid. But, you know, never say never. Switch Pro, which I think turned out being the Switch OLED. But we've just called it the Switch 2 or the Nintendo Switch 2. I really am seeing like more people who are more involved in the gaming industry say Switch 2, like with quotations, or Switch 2, like that's actually going to be the name. Who knows, right? We take everything with a grain of salt over here, but I do find this very interesting that somebody who's leaked so much prominent stuff, like huge stuff that you would really have to know what's going on, leaking a Legend of Zelda game where you play as Princess Zelda, and then also saying it was going to be like a new 2D Zelda game coming, and we were assuming it was going to be like something like a Link's Awakening remake, maybe something like that, like Oracle of Ages or Oracle Seasons remake, and then really getting Zelda Echoes of Wisdom announced a few weeks later. They kind of have a good insight, right? But ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about all this information? We covered quite a few things in today's video, so in the comments below, start a conversation and let me know your thoughts and opinions. If some way, somehow you have made it to this part of the video, just know I really appreciate you, and yeah, follow your boy on Instagram. And you guys know me, I'll see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.